Hey, I'm so excited. Welcome back.
Welcome, everybody. It is another Thursday Night Live with those two sisters, and we're talking about trending topics. Um, I know we want to jump right into the Pinky Cole update, but I wanted to find out how your week was going, and I'm gonna have to stop.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to stop. Put my camera on for a second when my food come. But
Oh, it's
how was
quite
your
all right.
How was your week?
Well, yes, my week was bomb. We had a bomb, like we had an event at work and everything went off without a hitch. So I'm always excited when something big is happening and then it's over. Even though I'm not like, trying to I'm trying to have it be over, but I'm trying to have it go well so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But everything went off, bomb. The small little things that happened didn't affect anything and people were still able to go about. So it was great. I'm so excited that it's over and it's
That's
complete and
what's
that it
up.
was a job well done.
That's what's
How
up.
about you? How was your week?
My week was good. It was productive. Everything is going like smooth. I mean, I'm always happy to be here on Thursday to talk about trending topics because the
Hallelujah.
internet is like bustling with interesting like shit to talk about or whatever. And we don't get too serious over here or whatever, but we do like to especially with our Black entrepreneurs, we like to like talk about what they have going on. We try to keep it light over here, and sometimes it may like hover on the line. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think today there's a lot of interesting things to talk about that will start, conversations. We can share some people, um, you know, and I don't know, some of these things that are on this list. I'm just like,
I mean, look, it's actually happening. It's actually happening. So we have to address it. And like you said, we try to bring out really the highlight the positive news, but sometimes we have to go over to the other side, like when somebody gets slapped or a huge lawsuit comes out. Like sometimes we have to go and delve into the side. We're all experiencing these things together on the internet, and one of the things, okay, we weren't gonna take it here, but I realized like one of the things that we forget is like we're just all here. We're all this social media thing is an experiment.
yep.
Like we don't know how this is going to end up. We could observe it. It's a science experiment. You know what I mean? Like these things are happening. There's never been an internet. There's never been a social media in any generation before ever. So we don't know the psychological impact that this is going to have on us 20 years later. We don't know. And then I feel bad for like people who have been into this since they were small children because if something would have happened to the internet we would be fine, but they probably wouldn't. So I mean, mentally is what I'm saying.
No, I mean for real, that is probably a real thing. Like especially with how things are going these days, the things that have been created to as far as like ailments and newly discovered issues and things like that, I can definitely see somebody being like distraught because the internet has always been around in their lifetime and then it was taken away. Like I could see something crazy happening with that. So hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I was in the car the other day and I left my phone in the car. And when I thought I lost my phone in the time that it took me to go back and get it from the car and the possibility that it could maybe not be in the car. And maybe I just don't know where it is. The thought of it was like so disheartening. I was like, oh, like I think I had a little bit of a physical reaction. Like I was like, oh, like I got tense. Like, what if my phone isn't in the car? Let's go check the car. And it was, but if it wasn't, it would have been a
Hmm.
piece of me missing. And it's almost like, it's really annoying to lose a wallet because for me, I don't even really know all that's in there. I don't keep a wallet inventory. But it's like you just, it's a slow process. You're obviously going to replace your ID and your credit cards and stuff like that. But like beyond that,
Hmm.
maybe your medical cards, but it's like thing you just annoyingly find out what was missing over the next few months or years. Like, oh man, I had that in my wallet once. Like, so, so I'm so grateful that I have all my things. That's what I'm saying. I didn't, I'm not
Well,
grateful. I'm
you
gonna be grateful.
know that last year I did a story or I talked about the AI pen. And I gotta look and see when it's supposed to be coming out because I feel like it's already supposed to be out, but it's supposed to
Yeah,
be taking away. our reliance on smartphones. So, this is like you said, we've not experienced these things. Nobody before us experienced these things. So, we'll just, have to see if all of this is like history, like AI becoming a part of certain things or whatever. Like that's something else that we talked about last episode as well. And since then, hey Gwendolyn, since
Hey,
then
Gwendolyn.
I watched The Circle on Netflix, right? You got to watch The Circle if you're not watching The Circle. I think you will love The Circle. It's like a fun little popularity game or whatever. The people never see each other until the end, but it's about like people have to be you have to be likable, whatever. You can go in as yourself or you can like go in as somebody else. But
Hey,
I feel
Blondie.
like you would love it. But hey, Blondie. But anyway, on that this season, they put an AI bot in the pool as a contestant because the players aren't seeing each other. They just see social media profiles and they chat, right? And they have to do these challenges and stuff like that. And based on the questions that are asked to the group, sometimes they play games and questions are asked, it kind of makes you judge people based off of their answer. Like, would you tell a friend if you saw their spouse cheating on them? Whoever says no, it's going to be like, oh, I don't trust that person because they wouldn't tell, or vice versa, right? So it's stuff like that. But anyway, they put an AI bot in the mix with the human contestants, right? And there came a point where they were all made aware that there was an AI bot in the chat. I mean, in the group, and then they all had to figure out who it could be, right?
Ooh.
All of them suspected each other. None of them suspected that the AI bot was an AI bot. And then in the beginning, they said that the AI bot was the producers and all of that had nothing to do with it. The AI bot was running on its own, right? So they had no idea what it would even say. This is what they said, right?
Okay.
But even still, that's like what we were talking about last week about we don't know these things very well, right? And
No.
so, but it was so crazy because they had to be like, they had to play these games to figure out who is, you know, who is the most human, right? Like, and then the
Wow.
crazy thing was the AI bot was just watching all of them and was just like, okay, well, this is the right answer to put because this is this and this is that, and like it was explaining the reason why I was like picking stuff or whatever. So I just thought that was interesting because I've seen a game where they have an Alexa type thing in there, right? But somebody's probably controlling that. Like this one is supposed to be acting on its own with its own responses. It watched all of the episodes previously. It made up this character or it picked this person, the person that it was going to catfish them with based on his age and the fact that he was, likable and all of this stuff. It was just crazy. It was crazy. So that I don't know. I was just thinking that piggybacks off what we were talking about earlier because last week because that's a one way I didn't even think about how AI could infiltrate, right?
And
So
I don't know how true this is, but I heard that
hey
Elon Musk
Arlen,
Elon Musk has put some sensors or something around the earth. I don't know. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I feel like I hope this is. I hope I wasn't like catfish myself. I hope I didn't just read that somewhere and it's not the truth. But also, if it were the truth, like I don't know who could verify it or shut it down. Like who would I believe to
I
tell
mean,
me either way? Because he does have that space company, and I do believe they've gone out of space, if I'm not mistaken.
I
So if
mean,
he put some
we would
sensors
have to
out
figure
there,
out who's the most credible and take their word for it.
man, listen, I'll believe that anything's possible until I find enough evidence on either side to make a decision. So it's possible, everyone. I'll make the case for this. It's possible that Elon Musk had put that up there because we know he's been out there. We know he's been to outer
I
space.
mean,
We
were
know
you
he has
there?
so much money.
Were you
And then look,
there?
I was not there, but I'm here and I saw what he did to Twitter. That wasn't good either. So, well, he's capable of doing that, I think. Just seeing what his track record is so far, I believe it's possible. I'm not saying I'm certain he did it, but I believe it's possible that Elon has put some sensors on the outside of the earth. But I don't know what that I don't know what that like there's nothing I can do about it. So, but I'm just saying like we don't know. The
Oh
jury's
my
still
god,
out on that one.
that's so funny.
Anyway, that's
Listen,
not
we
even
don't
our
know.
topic.
We don't
Sorry.
know. So I mean,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump right into our topics because you said yes, Elon Musk is clever. So, we're gonna jump right into this. We're following um the slutty vegan Pinky Cole, and pretty much a lot of stuff that she does is just dope. She's doing these she is. I saw on her social media that she was doing like she's called it a social experiment where they were giving money to different businesses and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool because I don't see people doing that. And even if
Well, oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
No, that's what I was talking about last week. She's doing the group economics
Yeah.
experiment. So hashtag group economics experiment. She basically identified a business, right? And she came on her social media and asked everybody to go and patronize the business, like not donate to it, but actually go and look at the website and buy something. And so in 2 days, and she shared it obviously with all her friend entrepreneur friends as well. I think I saw Ronnie Brown talk about it, a bunch of people talk about it, and then Pinky Cole also went on the radio and talked about it. And so in 48 hours, $70,000 was made by her telling everybody to go patronize this business, right? So that kind of shows how we can move a little bit of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what she was saying on the radio was that Mess in a Bottle is the business that she helped, right? So y'all check out Mess in a Bottle on Instagram. And the story is all over Instagram. But she made $100,000. She was making $100,000 a month at first. Then she was making $50,000, and then she went to making $10,000. So that was an example of a business that needs to be like turned around, right? Like
Okay.
so 70K in 2 days. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then it allowed her to collaborate with some other business owners and like use some of their tips and stuff and people that they shared, different other black entrepreneurs or whatever. So it was really good. And I mean, I'm pretty sure she has messages on there because she's trying to get out the orders by Mother's Day because a lot of people order some of her shirts for that. But
Okay.
basically, she's gonna probably do it again because when she first started, she said she had been researching some businesses and she had some that she wanted to do that, and she was like she wanted to see something. So now that she knows that she can do it, that we can do it, right? Because everybody probably didn't obviously participate in it, but it's gonna keep going, and it's gonna be different businesses. Hopefully she'll do it again. Um,
Yeah.
so
That's dope.
so yeah, shout out to her because listen, she is going to be one of the people. Well, a lot of us are going to be people that are in history books because of some of the crazy stuff that are going on that are being that we're being shown for, right? But she is going to be one of the people in the history books as like, look at what this lady did. Like she, her and her husband started these businesses and they're teaching other people how to do it and they're helping other business owners and the college giveaway thing that you sent me. I saw that the other day
Yeah.
too, but she gifted all the graduates entrepreneurial information so that they could start their own businesses, right?
Right.
So shout out to her. I mean, if y'all don't know who Pinky Cole is, she is the founder of Slutty Vegan, which is she's from Baltimore, but I think her first food truck was, I want to say her first food truck in Baltimore, or was it in Atlanta? Anyway, six
I
years
think it
ago,
was she was in Atlanta because I was listening to that
that's what
story she was telling at the Empower Her
the lines were.
conference. Hmm?
That's what the lines were. But she did all that in 6 years. She's been doing it. Okay,
Yeah. Shout out to
so
her and giving
shout out to
back
her.
and all of that. It's it's dope.
And she's having babies at the same time while she's doing all
I
this.
know.
Okay, she's been pregnant like twice back to
We
back.
can't say that it's not possible to do it all. And so what's funny is I don't I never think that people are balanced or got it all together. Somebody, people everybody has, challenges and things like that. But I love to see people do things like this, people like Pinky Cole, because it's a testament to like, okay, you can do all the important stuff. You're right. They're growing their family. They just got married, didn't they?
They just got married.
They're just doing positive things in the
His
community.
business is doing good as well.
It's like I love to see it. I just really love to see it. So shout out to her. Now, the next, and we're probably going to not strategically, but continuously, shout her out because, guys, she's local. Well, I call it local, like
And
it's the
she keeps
DMV.
doing stuff. She keeps doing
She
stuff.
doesn't live here now, but she's from here. She's from Baltimore. So I just, there's some other people that we're gonna we'll
Well,
talk
to
about.
be just let's just make a correction. We aren't in Baltimore.
No, we're not in Baltimore. We're
Shout
not
out
in
to
Baltimore, but
Baltimore.
I
But
can get there reasonably quickly.
I'm just saying, not to be funny. Shout out to the people I know from Baltimore. But this ain't Baltimore. But anyway,
Well,
uh,
speaking of people in Baltimore, or not even Baltimore, but speaking of people around here,
we're
I'm just
close
going
to
to go
Baltimore,
straight to
y'all.
this. Everybody, I don't know if y'all knew that Martin Lawrence is going to headline his first comedy tour in 8 years. I saw this today. I was like, wow, I really am looking forward to this. It's like, I love to see it. Oh, man, that
Where
stand
is
up.
it gonna be?
I think it's already been filmed. I think it's a movie. Wait, am I lunching?
So
Tickets
is it
on
gonna be on
sale?
Netflix?
Yeah, or maybe he's saying he's going on tour. I don't know, guys. I should probably read this before I, I tell you what it is. You know what I was thinking about? I feel like B. Simone said that she toured with him recently, and that they were, and that, oh, you know what? That's what it was. That's what it was. B. Simone said that she was, and look, it's featuring all of these people. He's hitting the stage again to headline his first comedy tour. Duh. What am
Okay.
I thinking about? She was saying she was
Blondie
going on
said
tour
that.
with him.
Blondie
So
said.
I put that together with Netflix. I done made up a whole Netflix.
Blondie
Yeah,
said
get your
something
tickets for the tour, guys.
about.
I'm lunching. No, I have no idea. Yeah, it's probably going to be in DC. He has to have
Oh, he gotta
a
come to DC.
DC show. Come on, he's from the PG area. So, tickets go on sale Friday, May 17th. He has to get, if he doesn't have a DC, I have to check it out right now. Yes, okay. Friday, November 8th. And Saturday, November 9th. All right, Washington D.C. National Harbor. Because I'm like, yo,
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm planning on going either.
Okay.
I'm happy to see him on tour, but I mean,
I'm gonna help you.
I feel like, oh, he has something to say about this. Can you want to go to this tour?
Then.
Because I was getting ready to say, if he didn't have no DC shows, I was going to be like, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
But
I
I
would.
don't know. I mean, I wasn't planning to go, but I would go. I would go. Maybe I'll see how long. Maybe I'll
I
see how
don't
much.
know if I've ever have I ever seen Martin in stand up.
It's in the National Harbor.
I'm trying to
We,
figure out if I
we.
ever.
I don't know if you've ever seen him live.
I feel like I have, but then I can't remember. So.
I feel like I would have.
Mm.
I feel like I would have heard about that. I feel like you would have had a story that you would have told me. I don't
I mean,
remember.
I could have. I just don't remember it today. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm about to be 50 in some years. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
so true. That's so
Gotta
true.
move some of those memories out to make room for the new ones.
I remember things oddly now. Like I remember just oddly. This is off topic, guys, but this is so funny because this is super off topic. But I just remembered, like a couple of weeks ago, like all of the managers that I had that passed away. Like one person got murdered, another
What?
person, yeah, from when I worked up at Columbia Longhorn Steakhouse. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying it, but look, we here, y'all. I'm sorry. The food
I
is good
remember
there.
that house.
The manager at the time, his name was Gene something.
Mm.
He was a short man. Here's what's crazy, okay? His body was found in the trunk of his car. The last footage of him was seen at the BWI airport because he was dropping his parents off. They had come to visit, and he gave them. Next thing you know, his body was found in the trunk of his car. Like we're at work, the detectives come to work and tell people this. I don't even know. Actually, no, it was the
That
regional manager. The
is
regional manager was
fine.
there at the store and was telling everybody like, oh, Gene was found murdered. Well, she didn't say murder. She was like, Gene has passed away. Da 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 da. And it was so shocking because it's like, oh, we're about to open a restaurant. Like he was found dead. Like that's weird. Then later they were like, yeah, the details started to come out. Like he was found in the trunk of his car. So it's not like he passed away naturally or something.
That,
It was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you didn't put yourself in the trunk of your car. Then there was some weird stuff happening around there. I don't know if I should tell this. This is kind of like true crime or something. but they gave a composite sketch of whatever they. I don't even know if they had a suspect or whatever, but it looked oddly like one of my coworkers, and he wasn't there the day that they gave the sketch. It
How
looked
was their
oddly like him. I
relationship
was
at
like,
work?
this is weird, huh?
How was their relationship at work?
I
Did
mean,
he
he
not
was
like him?
fine. The guy who I'm talking about, like, obviously, listen,
I
this
mean,
is
but you
where I
don't really
left it.
know a person's
Actually,
nature until you catch them killing somebody.
I actually had a good relationship with the guy. He was like really jovial and fun, and he had a great personality. And he just wasn't there that day. And I mean, but he would have mood swings sometimes, but it wasn't like, he would just be really dramatic sometimes. But I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm not accusing this
That is
man. I don't know.
wild.
I'm hoping. I've worked so many places. Well, I've said the man's name. Listen, if anybody remembers it, then I don't know what to tell you. But it happened. It happened, everybody.
I mean, I'm gonna
And then,
save my little antidote that I was about to say, but that is a wild ass story. That's
and
crazy.
then I had the one most recently when I was working down at that pizza place. And that's when I was just like, I can't go back there. Oh look! Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. No, those are. And then it happened somewhere else too, and I was like, oh my god! Like I randomly, I don't know if I was telling somebody something or whatever, but I randomly just had the thought, like, wow, I've had some managers not do so well, and I was just thinking to myself, like, how is that? I'm trying to think of the third one. Oh, the lady I worked with at when I worked for NASA, we were contractors, but yeah, she yeah, that was weird. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm talking about that, y'all.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
don't know
that's
what that was all about, man. Let's get back on the road.
let's get back on topic, okay? Well, speaking of women who are doing well, we're gonna give some love to B Simone in her Let's Try This Again podcast, because I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think that she was doing a podcast. I don't know if we talked about it since, but she had manifested to herself that, like, she was basically like, it's going to be the number one podcast. It's going to be the number one podcast. And like the second week or maybe the first episode that was out, that it was like number one on the culture and life list. They have the culture and something list. And it was number one on that. She almost couldn't believe it. But there was this one episode. I think I've seen two episodes so far. Wait, no, I saw the first one, and I saw this one. This one was really good with the lady from the Tyler Perry shows. I
Okay.
forget her name, but she is so fun, and she has her own podcast. Um, what is her name? Crystal Renee. So
Oh
she
yeah, yeah.
she has her own podcast called Keep It Positive, Sweetie. I
Mm-hmm.
like that podcast. That journey is fun. And she's just a nice person. Like she's really like honest, and you can just tell she's like a good person.
Yeah, I like her.
So,
I
but I
still
was
watch
watching
that show, but I do like her.
this this Be Simone podcast. I didn't see the one with Pretty V, and I didn't see the one most recently, but I think I saw the other three. So I saw the first episode, I saw this episode, and then there was one that really I sent it to you. It was recent because she was talking about, it might have been this right here. She was just talking about losing your vision and getting it back and being like, you only have this much. It was so good. Like she was only like a 39-minute podcast, but she was just really speaking positivity, and really like it made me think about things differently. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. It was like really kind of uplifting, but she was being honest in there, and she had some things in there that weren't so pleasant, like as far as things that she went through, but
Right.
it was very like inspiring, and I was like, wow, like just her point of view on things. It was really kind of like, okay, it was rejuvenating. I was like, all right, this is the type of stuff that I like to see, because it's something that's going to add value to your spirit, to your day. And that's the same thing I love about Megan Ashley as well, which is why I'm making a complete obvious attempt to make sure to support both of them. Like I think for a little while, I'm gonna, whenever I say something about one of them, I'm gonna say something about the other one, because I just don't want to play into some narrative of like, oh, which side are you on? It's like, no, we can support both of them. Like there's room enough for both of them to win. And so yeah, so with that said,
Yeah,
have you been watching this?
I haven't watched listen, I'm backed up on interviews and podcasts and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've been watching a bunch of other things. Like I was telling you, I watched Monique Slaughter on Carlos King. Um, and I watched anyway, the point is I'm backed up. I really need to catch up on interviews because I do want to talk about a bunch of those. I want to see, what's going on with them. I want to see. But I did
Yeah.
see the post that you sent me about the oh, what's her name with the locks? That was on Megan and Ashley's recent podcast.
Oh yeah,
The
Jackie
sister
Hill
with the
Perry.
locks.
Yeah, Jackie Hill Perry.
Yes, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. So yeah, I got to spend some time over there on her thing. I haven't watched it.
Megan Ashley is bomb too. I can't wait to see this because I remember. So it's funny because I knew about the Know for Sure podcast, but I hadn't watched a full episode. I will only have watched clips. Like it might be like a 30-second clip that would lead me to watch a 10-minute clip. But I never had watched a full episode. And then it wasn't until like maybe late last year and I was watching Megan Ashley's podcast after she had decided to start her podcast. I was
Mm-hmm.
watching that, and then I realized, like, I never watched the episode of Know for Sure pod. Like, why don't I go back and see like what their dynamic was? So I watched one, and I really liked it. And I was like, wow, I'm so mad I didn't watch this, but it's still there. You can go watch it. So I was watching it, and one of their episodes had Jackie Hill Perry on it, and even the dynamic of her and B Simone, they had some weird vibes in their on screen sort of podcast life. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's been a few times where they've been crying, or one of them is like, "Oh, we're going to talk our way through this," and they've
Yeah,
had
so
some
like
on.
that's what I was wondering too. Because when they did break up, I did catch the little gist of that they were friends for a long time, and they just had, think they were trying to work it out. They actually were trying to do therapy and stuff like that or whatever, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like a I think Kojo did a breakdown on their different personalities. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
but you know who else has a great podcast that just starting in April is Sherelle from Love and Marriage DC. She has a what is her I don't her the name of her podcast is I don't know who needs to hear this, and she actually had one of her old friends on there too. Like they had a relationship that kind of broke down or whatever, and they stopped talking for years or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I'm backed up on podcasts, but I need to
I
catch.
hear you. I hear you. I be feeling like that too, but it's like, it's no such thing. You don't you're not gonna miss any. I'm not saying you're not gonna miss anything like it's not valuable, but it'll come around. Like you'll see what you need to see, right? But so don't feel like you backed up, right? Because it's like, oh, you'll see what you need to see. You're living a full life. That's another thing I've been walking around thinking about. It's like all of these experiences and like feelings you can feel. I want to make sure that I'm always, or as much as possible, just like making the best of wherever I am, because if I'm choosing to have a bad time, it's like I'm making that choice. I was so irritated the other day. I can't remember what happened, but James had to leave here early. And I remember I was here by myself, and whatever I was thinking about had me in a bad mood. And I got in the shower, and then I realized, like, you're alone. Why are you angry? Like, what is it? Why are you angry by yourself? Like, you're controlling this whole environment right now. Like, you can change whatever you want so that you're not angry like this if you wanted to. And that's when I was just like, I could just look at every situation like that. Like, how could I have fun here? Even the stuff that I
Right.
don't like to do, like, okay, so I have to do this, but how could I have fun with this? Like, how could I make this an enjoyable experience as much as I can? Like, if I can't, then I can't. And one of the things
Yeah.
that I've been doing, which is a part of my little, my little weird planning system stuff, is like, I'll be telling myself, and this kind of comes from some of the conversations we're talking about. I can do anything for 10 minutes. And here's why, because I can do anything for 1 minute. And if I can do it for 1 minute, I can do it again. And if I can do it twice, you might as well do it 3 times. Once you do that third minute, you can obviously replicate it twice. And that's like almost 10 minutes. So you might as well just do it. Right. Well, let's do
Yo, the way
it.
that
10
you
minutes.
focused though and broke that show down is so fucking funny.
You can
Like,
do anything for 10 minutes. I mean, like, I feel like most things, like, I wouldn't hurt yourself,
I don't know, it
but
depends. It depends. It depends
I
on what
feel
it is.
like with your strengths. I'm not saying like go
It
out
is
there and
all in
try
how
to
you look at it, though.
hold up a 400 pound, whatever. But it's like if you need to get on the
What is that
treadmill,
sound?
huh? Oh, sorry, I was clicking a pin.
Oh.
If you need to get, I didn't even realize I was doing it. If you
Oh
need
my
to
God,
get
when you
on a
watch this back, you're gonna
treadmill,
be like, I cannot believe I was clicking that junk like that.
I can't. Oh my god, I'm cringing right now just thinking about it. I didn't even realize I was doing it. It's such a common sound to me. But yeah, if I need to get on the treadmill or the stairmaster or whatever for 10 minutes, I just be thinking to myself like you could do anything for 10 minutes, and then the beauty about it is that like the next 10 minutes, if you want to stop, is so easy, right?
Yeah.
You can do so many other things that are more hard than doing nothing and that are less hard than being on the treadmill.
I
So
will
it's like
probably
it
skip
gives
the
you so
treadmill
much.
altogether, which I usually do. I don't like the treadmill, but because it's easier for me to focus on something that I like doing versus something that I don't like doing, and like I would rather walk outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I
So,
do.
because if you have to spend the whole time thinking I can do anything for this amount of time, what you're really thinking is I hate doing this.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you are gonna feel like that depending on what it is, but don't torture yourself for no reason. You know what I mean? If it's the
yeah.
only option that you have to do, okay, then yeah. But if you don't like the treadmill, then you're like, I don't like the elliptical. I never get on the elliptical. I don't like the. I do like the stairmaster or
What
whatever.
don't
I
you like
will.
about the elliptical? Because I don't like the elliptical either, but I wonder if it's the same thing.
It gives my feet cramps for some reason, but I don't like it because it's like I like natural movements, right? Like it appears that you're running, but you're really not. So I like to do stuff that's like calisthenics or just like stairs. Like I'm actually going to be walking upstairs. I can do the treadmill if I must, but it's boring to me, so I don't like to do that. So, but my thing is like when you're talking about working out, and if you're a person who doesn't work out, like you can't. Some people it works to force yourself to do stuff, but a lot of people it doesn't. It just deters you and makes you further dislike the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's true. It's
because
true.
like if you think about it, as humans, we're all impressionable. Like people. Like we put ourselves in an environment. That environment kind of comes on us. You know what I mean? And so basically, when you're trying to create a habit, you just need to put yourself in the environment, but be nice about it. Like don't be like, you know, bitch, I'm gonna take you to this gym and you better do what you got to do. Like
Right.
that works for some people, but some people it doesn't work like that. Like you know what I mean? Like maybe all you can do is go in there and walk on the treadmill, and that's the goal, right? So
Yeah.
when you show up and you walk on the treadmill, then try to do it again the next day if that's what you want to do, right? But don't force yourself to do something. Like I said, I always recommend people find something that you like to do because there's so many things to do. Um,
I
anyway,
really want to try this bungee class, but I can't find one.
mm,
It's this like a
that's gonna be
workout thing.
fun. They had that on Ready to Love. They did that on Ready to Love last season.
Well, if I could find one, I would love to do that. I'd probably be there all the
I
time.
would too. And the girl, let's look for one because the girl when they went on a date, one of the girls, she said she liked it, but she just kept thinking that her face was gonna hit the floor. And I was like, I would probably think that too because it's like, it's so spongy, but it's like, what if that on his last snap when I come out to the
Oh
floor?
my gosh! Don't say that. Well,
But
you
nah,
know
I would
what?
do that too.
I don't think you'll feel like that once you do it. Okay, there is a place. All right, we're gonna look into
I
that because I
definitely will
found
do
the
that.
place.
But see,
All
that's what
right,
I'm saying. Like, you don't have to do stuff that you don't like to do. Like, that's crazy. You need to find something that you actually are going to enjoy doing. It could be dancing. Like some people like dancing to trap music. That's a workout as well. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that
saying?
is a workout. That is a
And since we're
workout.
talking about it, Trap Cardio does lives all the time with like they got little dance routines to all the songs, and you're doing your little workout. It's cardio and it's like squats, and sometimes it's fun. So if anybody doesn't like working out, but they want to do some cardio, look up Trap Cardio. They in Virginia, but they are on YouTube. Anyway. Yes, Blondie, and welcome to the group, Blondie. Blondie joined the Transform Your Habits group, and
Oh,
she
welcome,
shared
buddy.
this inside the group that she does line dancing for her workouts. You know what I mean? So like you gotta find something you enjoy. And I didn't even think about line dancing as a thing, but yeah, that's a workout too. That and hand dancing. So anyway,
I
I
can't even remember what hand dancing is.
well remember see
Oh wait, yes I do. Okay, I
I
remember.
was gonna say
I had to get it in my head real
uncles used
quick.
to do it, and our mother used to do it.
I had to get it in my head real quick because it's like I know the term. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna move on to the next topic, guys. Um, listen, I was trying to think of a cute segue, but this is what it is. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Oh wait, before we move on, this is the interview with Jackie Hill Perry and Megan Ashley, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably going to be a really good interview because both of them really have a lot to say about God, and both of them are pretty hilarious people. I'm gonna say like they're both really funny, and I don't know a lot about like their friendship, but it seems like they're they find it easy to talk to each other. But
Mm-hmm.
that's where I first seen them talk. So like I don't think she knew her before
But she said that
the
this
Know
was
for
a
Sure
highly
pod.
requested interview.
So she was on the Know for Sure pod. Jackie Hill Perry came to because that's what I was saying. I watched a whole bunch of like maybe like 4 or 5 of their episodes because I really liked it. I was like, oh wow, this is really quite like entertaining. And I had always enjoyed the clips that I would see, but I just never like committed to a full episode. But once I saw it, one of the episodes I saw was Jackie Hill Perry, and I thought they had a great conversation. The three of them. So it's, obviously B. Simone, Megan Ashley, and Jackie Hill Perry. So I don't think Megan Ashley and Jackie Hill Perry knew each other before that interview. So it's
Okay.
like so for them to have developed this friendship, they seem like they have a really connected friendship because they both. I was looking at some of the clips for this, and they both were just really talking in depth. It was pretty fun. Now I haven't seen this episode. I was just looking at some of the clips, but I can't wait to watch it because I bet they're gonna have a bomb conversation. I always love listening to both of them individually anyway, so I know I'm going
Okay,
to enjoy
I'll have to
this.
check her out. I never checked her out, and I did not like you. I did not really watch the No For Sure podcast. Like I would catch different clips, but it's so much to watch out here. Like it's crazy. Like sometimes I have to like stop watching other people's content so I can make my own content.
I
Um,
know.
and that's kind of what I was faced with this week. Because I'm like, yo, you gotta get some content made, and there's just so many good things that I wanted to watch that I was just like, you cannot watch all this stuff, okay? Um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I have to check that out because like that clip that you had sent me, she said in the beginning that apparently people were requesting this. So I guess they watched that same one that
Yeah.
you saw.
I can't wait to see this. I'm like, yeah, I really like this. But it's like I hear you on the creating content front because it's hard and the way to go for regulating yourself because it's hard out here. That's one of the things that listen. When I made that comment earlier about we don't know the social experiment called social media. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to say everybody quit social media, but we definitely need to take a good look at our use of it because it's definitely it's a time consumer and it's an energy and attention consumer too. That's the one thing that I would say. A lot of people don't value themselves or their attention. They're like, like they're just spending it in their time like water, like it's just gonna replenish. And I guess in ways, I guess it does, but every day that goes past, you get older. So it's not like you're losing a day, but like you gotta do something. You gotta make an impact because you would
I
hate
love
to
her
live
locks.
your
Her
whole
locks.
life and just have been watching social media all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is one of the things I want to point out about that. I know this isn't what we were talking about, but just want to make this point real quick. This is the first generation that really is on social media hardcore because it wasn't available before. And just like you kind of said about regulating yourself, like I had to stop because I had to create some content instead of watching it. It's so easy and addictive to get to that point because it's designed that way, and what they want is our attention, and I think it's very valuable. So if it's valuable to them, because our attention pretty much like where do they say where it's attention goes energy flows. So like attention is
Yep.
worth,
Or
I would
what you
even
focus
argue
on
attention is
grows.
what's that.
Or what you focus on grows.
Yeah,
But
I
you
would
got
say
right.
I would argue that attention is, in a lot of times, worth more than money sometimes, because your attention, wherever your attention goes, money's going to eventually go. So it's kind of like a twofer. Like if I can get her attention and I can get her money, like, yeah, you probably can. And those things, oh my gosh, I don't think our parents had to deal with this either. But like when I pick up my phone to do something, and
Mm.
the thing that I had searched for that I was eyeballing comes up on my phone, like, hey, don't you want to buy me? You were looking at me earlier. That is so. That is
It's
so
an
invasive.
invasion of privacy, okay?
I'm
And
like,
no, it didn't
no,
happen to them because they didn't have the internet back then like
stop
that.
following me. But my point is, oh, sorry. Let me say this, and then we're gonna get into this comment. My point is, since this is the first generation that we're experiencing this, I'd hate for a lot of people to have not regulated themselves and
Mm-hmm.
then just been participating in social media and work for 40 years of their life before they wake up and realize, oh, I didn't create anything. I didn't contribute anything because I was distracted. So that's one thing that I would caution people, like, we got to figure out how to regulate ourselves, because they want our attention for a reason. It's valuable. If we put our attention somewhere else, you could do a lot, especially in an organized way. You were saying something earlier about somebody who had gotten organized, and that's what you were talking about. You were talking about um, Pinky Cole, how she put together all that money because of that post that she made,
Well,
and
no, that she basically directed black dollars. She
yeah,
went and told her people that follow her, hey, let's do this experiment. The people who could participate in it went and bought something from the business that she put out. So
yeah,
that is
that's the
like,
power of social. You know
yeah,
what?
because there's a lot of businesses that are like suffering. And if we could just be like, oh, hey, all they probably need is like a good month to get back going and to, do what they need to do or whatever. So that 2 days, $70,000.
So yeah, that's dope. But okay, let's move on. I'm all over the place, guys. Listen, this is how these conversations go. Okay, this is
Don't
real.
forget Blondie's comment about what
This
she
is
knows
not
from.
this is not AI, so you're gonna get a little bit of that. Okay, Blondie said, "I know Jackie from Better Together Chat with Christian Women, sponsored by TBN." Oh my gosh! Yes, I watched that. I watched that. I think it's like a YouTube channel. It might be a regular channel too, but I'll be watching like Joyce Meyer and CC Winans. Um, and a couple of other people that have really familiar faces, and I can't remember their names right now. Is one lady. Anyway, I don't remember her name, so I'm not going to describe her because that would just be weird. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. But if you could go back over to the Better Together chat, and you'll see who I'm talking about. But yeah, TBN, and yeah, I love that. Oh, I'm so glad that she made it over there. I really do feel like Megan is the real deal. I don't know who would ever question, somebody's faith or whatever, but I think that, she's really someone who is serious about her faith, and someone who she inspires me to be more sort of disciplined and studious about the word. It's like, I'm not trying to, I don't think that anybody needs to aspire to be like somebody else, like, oh, you're a pastor, so I should do what the pastor's doing because that means you love God. I don't think it's like that. But sometimes some of the things that she says about the word make me want to go back and look at what she's talking about, but also just the way that she's so passionate about it makes me inspired to be like, yeah, let me go pick up my Bible and spend 20 minutes just talking to God and just thanking him. Like, sometimes she just reminds me that, like, wow, you really do have a lot to be grateful for. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely give it up to her for what she's doing out here on social media. And it can't
Yeah.
be easy.
Nah. I mean, because they had a public not falling out, but like,
Hmm.
we had this together, and now we don't, and
Yeah,
everybody, questions and all of that probably happened and stuff like that. So I mean, but this like their life on live, right?
I know. And it
So
feels almost like a divorce, like a failure. No, I don't think it's a failure, but both of them have kind of alluded to that. Like, it was embarrassing.
you
Like,
know what's crazy though? I feel like because of her kind of personality, that because her personality is so different from B Simone's. Like if it was another person just like B Simone, I feel like it would have went different. You feel what I mean?
mm,
Like the way that I feel like Like I do think that both of them are on their path of growing, but if Megan's attitude was a little bit more spicy, it could have went a total different way.
Mm.
But I think that they're both handling it on their grown woman, especially Megan, more so Megan. I need to
Yeah.
watch. I need to watch B Simone's podcast. But the last thing that I saw of her, uh, like like I want to support both of them, but I just feel like if you're gonna handle it and be like, we're not gonna throw no shade, don't throw no shade. And
Just
I
don't
feel like
say nothing.
she did that in the beginning, and she had total control over that. And she didn't have to do that, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, girl.
It was petty, but I also have
But it
I'll
was
be
her. It
thinking
was her though. It was her.
I'll be thinking about things like, okay, what if there's more to the story? What could warrant something like this for someone? But I don't see. I don't know. I don't know what
But
happened.
what
I don't
more do
know.
you want from a person? If a person is like, listen, okay, I'm trying to fight my demons. I made some mistakes along the way that affected you, and I didn't mean to do that. I'm still trying to figure out this human life, whatever, right? And I apologize, right? What more do you want? That's how I feel like Megan did, right? What more do you
What did
want
she
from
apologize for?
No, I mean, maybe she didn't apologize for anything. My point is like, being herself. Like, okay, my personality doesn't fit with yours, and some of my personality things may have bled onto you, and maybe that's what I'm thinking about apology because like she was very like we got B Simone who's who she is, and then you got Megan who's a little bit codependent on her. That's what I was thinking about it. Like, right,
Mm-hmm.
like she maybe the codependent is not the right word, but like she was a little bit more like
Needy.
yeah. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean by maybe she apologized for that. I don't know. But my point is, what more do you want from a person who's trying to work on themselves? They realize what their flaws are and they're trying to move forward. What are you getting from doing this like shade? That's all I'm saying. Now, if Megan threw some shade first, then maybe I have to go back and look at that because I don't know if that's the case. But when I saw the fucking like advertisement, I was like, damn, B, you had to do it like that. Like, come on, y'all
She
already admitted
addressed some of the
embarrassing.
stuff on there on one of the podcast episodes. I feel like it might have been the first one, but this is B Simone that I'm talking about. She basically was like, she didn't talk about the breakup or of the relationship or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that, but she was basically like talking about the people who have hurt her and how the worst thing about it is that they didn't apologize. So I don't know if she was talking about her or not, but then she kind of went off into a similar sort of like topic that I felt like kind of solidified that she was talking about her. Plus, in the beginning of her videos,
Okay.
at the beginning of her podcast, she does this vlog thing, and she did
Mm-hmm.
throw some shade in that first one. She was like in her apartment, and she must have had on like something was white in the background, or maybe she was wearing something white. But I remember it was like a bright shot, and she ended up saying like, "Yeah, I hope y'all like the way that I'm doing this with the vlog in the beginning. Y'all comment and let me know." And then she took a shot. She said something about their
Was it
relationship.
the share? And she was like, "Get that out of here." What's that doing here?
So that was one thing. No, this was
Okay,
something different.
yeah,
She
that was.
was This was something else. This was something
So
additional.
she did something else.
Yeah, in the beginning of the first episode, if I find it, I'm gonna send it to you because she basically was like, she said something that we knew what she was talking about, and then she was like,
That's what I'm saying, man.
she said
Like,
something
see,
like, yeah, so she's
you
petty.
have
She's
those
petty.
long friendships, right? Like, if, like, listen, I've had friends that the shit didn't work out. We might have been close as I don't know what back when we was close, but now we're not. But that doesn't warrant me to be like, oh, let me go and throw shade at this person or whatever. Like, if it's dead, it's dead. Move on. Like, I feel like that's a grown up way to go. Like,
Absolutely.
that's the best way to me because, like, otherwise it just looks crazy because it might come off funny at first and then as you keep going it's going to backfire. Like, why? What are you doing? Are you growing or not? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're a petty person and you welcome your petty, who am I to tell you to stop?
Listen, I'm not exactly like I wouldn't call myself petty, but I'm not exactly like
Unpetty.
post petty. I'm not beyond being petty for the rest of my life. I know that I'm not like
I
free
just
from
don't
that.
care. Like,
I mean,
if that
I like to think I
doesn't
don't care, but
affect me, fuck them, because I know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna go on with my life, and whatever you think is going on, you think is you. I listen. I don't have time to be like focused on nothing petty. Like, mm-mm.
I know. Sometimes I slip up though, and I'm like, you know what?
You know,
I'll show them. And it's not like I do
but
crazy stuff, but I mean, sometimes I don't know. I don't
but
even
the
have an
thing is,
example,
you
but I know
just
that I
be
think
showing somebody. Sometimes it's somebody. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes it's like a waste of your time, but you don't
absolutely.
realize it. So that's
And
why I was like,
I do
"What's
agree.
the point?"
I do agree.
But
You're
it feels so
absolutely
good,
right.
right?
No, I mean it's not even that. It's just like I can't even really think of an example right now, but I just know I entertain petty thoughts. And there are times where I'm like, I should do this, and that is spending time on it. So you're right. Even whether I act on petty thoughts or not, like I wouldn't like do nothing real petty, like put somebody's stuff outside in the rain or like stuff like that. I would never do anything like that.
Mm.
But like if somebody were
Well,
doing
don't give
something,
away your petty secrets online. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
for sure. No. My petty points. I'll keep this to myself. But it's like I'm just saying that like I'm not above doing
Mm-hmm.
something back to someone. This is really what I was thinking of. Like I'm not getting ready to like go out of my way to like prove somebody a point. But like if somebody's doing something to me, I'm not above like, oh
Mm.
really? Like I'm just not above it. But I'm not saying that I'm not advocating for it either.
No, I feel
But
you.
so
Listen,
I really what I was saying is like B Simone, I understand. I understand what
listen.
she's
I was about to say we all have our things, right?
yeah.
I don't agree with the way that she handled that, but I also feel like it's okay for her to be herself as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like we always talk about Krishan and Blueface about how they need to grow and they'll grow up and they'll see like they're growing too. You know what I mean?
I
They're
mean, I thought Blueface was in jail.
I mean, I don't really know. I was just referencing them to say, that they're young and they have to grow. B. Simone and Megan are also growing as well, So I'm not judging, like saying like, oh, condemning the person, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying it in a way that, think about it a little bit differently because you got the spotlight. You know what I mean? Like, is this really
Yeah.
what you want to do on the spotlight? Like, and if something happens to you tomorrow, do you want this to be the last thing that people think about? That's all I be thinking about it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you have your human moments where like
That's true. I need to keep that in mind.
for you, it's the petty thing. For me, I'll cuss your ass out, right? I've gotten better in my older age. I don't just cuss people out. But that is what my thing is versus being petty. Like, I don't believe in being petty, but I believe in cussing your ass out. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I
Yeah.
have to work on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so
Well, yeah. I
I
mean,
get it. I get it.
but sometimes people need to get cussed out. Amen. I feel like there's certain things, there's certain elements of like there's a lesson on both sides. Is if you going through like just hear me out here. It is I'm not advocating that more people should be petty, but I'm just saying for the people out there who entertain a little bit of petty, imagine that they're a force, and then there's the force of someone who is deserving of petty, and we can't let them overtake too much territory either. So the idea that maybe the non-petty person went out of their way to be petty for a minute just to be the reminder to those who deserve
That
those
everybody
things
gets.
to happen to them that they can't go through life like that either, right? So it happens. This is an exchange.
Yeah.
Every now and then the universe bounces.
No, I mean, listen, I don't, I'm not against it because I'm not fully against it because I do enjoy watching people be petty. I can,
Yeah, it's a
you know
good
what I'm saying?
petty
I,
party.
I just won't act out on the pennies, but we all got our shit to work on, but,
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
but for this, I just feel like, like y'all are on front center stage, and you always talk about growth. So it's like, man, is this really how you want it to go down? But especially if it was somebody who was a friend for so long. Like, yeah, y'all might not feel like y'all felt now, but like that is the 20 years deserves some respect, right?
Yeah, I was really sad to see that. And I know we're not talking about that as the topic, but I just have to say I was really sad to hear about that. Um, oh gosh, that was loud. Y'all probably didn't hear it. But I was really sad to hear about it because even though I didn't know them or I don't know them, um, I I could identify with them so hard. Like two black women, they be laughing and we having a good time, and I know what they mean about like doing something publicly. Like it's a risk because it's like you're coming out there and you're saying like, hey, this is my presentation. Like this is what I'm telling you. And the podcast was like named No for Sure. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it was almost like what I know. It was almost like it's like what I know for sure is that we're a for sure thing. So that was
Mm-hmm.
really hard, and I still hope that they get back to some semblance of a friendship. But sometimes, and now depending on what happened, right, and that depending on what happened, I don't know if it can be mended. But I do think that they're both good people. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, shout out to them. I mean, I'm gonna catch up on. I'm gonna make it a point this weekend to catch a couple of episodes on their podcast.
Yeah, you can enjoy it. It's going to be a treat. Okay, so listen, the next topic, y'all. Now this is funny because I I'm notorious. You know what? I'll admit it. This is not the news. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I want to get better. I'm getting better at finding really good, juicy, like solid information and good sources. But sometimes I do fail to read the right thing, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is not anything that I thought it was. So this kind of happened with me earlier because at first I thought that okay, this story is about Shawnee O'Neal and her husband. Well, it's not really about Shawnee O'Neal. It's about Shawnee O'Neal's husband. We got another topic about Shawnee O'Neal, but Pastor Keon Henderson, and this video comes up of him shushing a woman like during it looks like a worship service. It might have been them like doing a recording. Obviously, there was a camera, so obviously somebody was doing some sort of recording, and it seemed like they were doing like a song, but this lady just kept wailing. Listen, I just got a flashback just then. Okay, is that what you're gonna say? Okay, never mind. Listen, let me tell you. Now I've realized. So let me tell the story, and then I'm gonna let you go. So Pastor Keon Henderson was like doing this. I can show the clip. He was doing this worship service, and then he, out of nowhere, this lady is everybody's clapping and giving praise, and I think he's singing. I can't believe I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if he's
Yeah,
singing or he's
yeah.
talking. Okay, but it's like it's a moment. You see the camera is obviously walking around. They're doing a pan up shot. This is like probably for some sort of B-roll, if not or maybe a main event type of thing. But this lady is just going ham, like she's not even really, she's just loud, and it's it's
That joke is
distracting.
funny as shit.
And he stops her. He goes over and stops, and he says, "Stop doing that." Basically, he was like, "Hey,
He snapped
stop
his
that."
fingers.
Yeah, he said, "Stop doing that." Look at his face. I didn't see his
And he
face.
said, I only want the voice of Jesus to be heard, or something like that. Or he said something to the effect of like, we only want this voice to be heard.
So he felt like she was faking it,
Yeah,
right?
he said that he knows the difference between disturbance and worship.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is this: everybody that goes to church knows that there's gonna be somebody
Mm.
that, whether they just sit down in the front and they just keep saying amen in the same tone and the same cadence every time the pastor
Preach,
right,
preacher, preach.
something, right? But this lady was wailing, and I think that I don't think that he was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Oh.
I feel like where he went wrong at was the finger snap. I feel like the
Oh.
optics of that, or how that came off, was like bad. But I feel like it was the fact that his irritation showed, like his humanness showed. Like anybody, he was trying to do something, and she's back here,
And he's trying to keep
doing
his
what she's doing.
composure.
I mean, she was screaming bloody murder. Okay, she was screaming like that, right? And he tried to keep his composure, and he had a moment, and he had to be like, "Look, let me just get her to stop this right now," because honestly, I feel like somebody should have been in charge of that. Somebody should have been in charge of going over and being like, "Hey, let's take her out when she does that."
I
Because
mean, he said she had been doing it for 4 years, and part of me felt like, well, why are you reprimanding her on camera? Why didn't you do this? But then I heard
because he
him.
got irritated.
Yeah.
Stop that.
And listen, I think some people do it not because they feel the spirit, but they're trying to get to the point where they feel the spirit. But sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't think you can tell somebody when they're worshiping or not. Like, I don't think you can. I don't
Well,
know.
somebody in the comments had it right. They said if it was the Holy Ghost, then she wouldn't have stopped. It wouldn't have been able to stop.
Oh,
Right?
that's a good point.
That is a good point. But my point is like I don't think that I think that one somebody else could have been handling that. Like somebody else should have been already tasked since she's been doing this for so long. Somebody should have already been tasked to be like, hey, if I'm doing this, stop her. Like all those people that work for him, you know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two is I just think that I don't see anything wrong with him being irritated about it. He didn't curse at her. He didn't say shut the fuck up. He didn't say none of that. He did snap his fingers, which is a little off putting. However, what are you doing? You see him trying to do something over here. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was probably embarrassing for her though. But
But okay,
listen.
so you embarrassed. You embarrassed because they told you to shut up, but you're not embarrassed because you over there screaming like you at a funeral. She was screaming like she was at a funeral. I can't even mimic it. But like I said, I feel like that should have been somebody else's job. The fact that he had to get irritated like that, I feel like somebody else should have already known to be like, let's stop her from doing this.
I don't know if anybody would have been comfortable doing it because it's like, who am I to stop this woman?
Well,
Who am
the
I to
people
say
who are
that
his
she's not
deacons and
worshiping?
ushers and stuff like that, the people who go and run and cover people up if a woman falls over and her legs go open, like somebody's gonna handle that. Or if somebody starts fighting, I bet you somebody handles that. There's somebody that could have just been
But
like,
but they wouldn't maybe have done that for that. Maybe they're just all irritated and they're
I
like,
bet
this
you they ain't doing
lady.
that.
Well, he was the only one. I feel like it's like, well, the pastor said you can't do that.
But that's what I'm
So
saying. He
now they maybe will go and do that, but I don't think
My point
anybody
is,
would say they could tell. A pastor would say that. I guess I can
well,
tell
no,
if they're
I'm
working or
all
not.
I'm saying is these pastors have people that work for them, and they talk and they have meetings and they know
Yeah,
this is what the pastor likes, this is what the pastor
yeah,
doesn't like.
that's
I
true.
just find it hard to believe that nobody it was in their mind to be like, let's just go pull her outside, or let's just without even
Nah, he was mad. You're
this,
right.
this is what I'm saying. Like without even anybody knowing. The point is the fact that he had to stop and do it. The fact that his irritation got the best of him, because that's all it was. It was just like it's like if you got a kid that's doing something over and over, you on the phone and you just start clapping your hands, hey, just to get everybody to calm
Yeah,
the hell down. I didn't
together.
necessarily want you to see me doing that, right? But I had to get it out, and I feel like that's how he was with the
That's what
little
he
snapping of the
did.
fingers. But my point is, you cannot tell me that somebody on his team is not being told right now, what was you doing? Why didn't you just pull her to the side? Like nobody even had to know. It just would have stopped.
I don't know. I don't
Off
know.
everything. So anyway,
He looked so irritated.
I don't think he was wrong though. I mean, he's allowed
I
to.
mean, I don't think he was wrong either because she stops and she's going to the church and it's his church. And I mean, unfortunately, whether people think it's right or wrong, like they probably aren't doing that. Well, maybe they are. I can't
Like
call
I
it.
said,
But
I
I
don't.
feel like, look, and then let this be. You know what? Let's use this as a learning experience because this is not acceptable, y'all. This is distracting. I'm just going to tell you, like, and I know there's some old church Southern folks out there who are like, this is how we do it. And I get that. And if whatever you do flies wherever you go, that's fine. But I think you should make sure there's other people doing what you're doing sometimes. Sometimes you have to read the room. If
Well,
you're
I
the
mean,
only one doing that, it's possible that you're distracting other people because you're
yeah,
the
but you
only
are
one doing that.
thinking,
Let's really think about why. You're the only
you're
one.
yeah, but you're thinking about it like a person who like is cognizant of the fact that if I make a sound, everybody's gonna hear it. And this person, if she's been doing it for that long, that's just how she has come to worship. Now she might even think that that's what she's doing. Like she,
Yeah.
it's not. It's like the situation is like it's not even to me about like right or wrong. Like I'm not saying that she was wrong. I'm not saying that she was faking. I'm just saying in the situation of what was going on, he's trying to do something right, and here you are impeding that and hindering it, and he just got it was just like bound to happen. Like, just come on, calm down, right? Like, and then let me just do this. And I mean, listen, you
You
got other
know,
pastors out here spitting on people and all types.
oh, I saw about that a
I
while
don't think that
ago.
he was wrong. I think that he was perfect. Listen, I think he was well within his right. He
Yeah.
got irritated. The man is still human. Hey, stop it.
Look, Shawnee's standing by her man too. I like Shawnee. You can't get me not to like Shawnee. Shawnee is hilarious. And honestly, I think she's entrepreneurial. I have a lot of respect for Shawnee. She went through that whole marriage with Shaq. And apparently, y'all, she didn't even love him. It's funny because when I saw this, I said, where did this come from? So this is the first one I saw. This is like Shaq saying, I understand I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Right. But then I was like, why would he say that? And then I realized that this came out. Shawnee Henderson says she doesn't know if she ever loved Shaq. I was in love with the idea of building a
Mm.
life together. And so this is from this undefeated. But it's like I don't know. I don't know if this was taken out of context or if it's actually what she said. But the fact that he reacted to it like that, it makes me feel like maybe that's what was said. But yeah, I could see like he's a lot of person. What he is, he's a lot of person, and I don't know if he can really love all of that. I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. I said Monique Slaughter did a interview with Carlos King, and in that interview, she said that she dated Shaq. It was after Shawnee, but she was like they were making plans to be together on New Year's Eve, but that was when he showed up wherever he was with Hoops that time, and he was dating Hoops or whatever. So I was like,
Mm.
that's what made me think about that or whatever. But apparently, yeah, he's a lot of body, but a lot of Shaq. But somebody love him like
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he seems like a nice man. He's obviously like a philanthropist. He's a businessman. He gives back. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a decent stand up, like moral guy, other than the cheating. Okay,
I
but
say,
then,
oh Lord.
but I mean, I feel like he's a lovable character or something. But I mean, I don't know how to feel about this because they do have a number of children together. But I guess that's what happens. It's like I was in love.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably in a good relationship now, and she probably realizes that, oh shit, I was never in love with him anyway. I was in love with this. She might not have even thought that until now. And I ain't see where she said it at.
That's true. That's true. Also, that's a nice thing to hear if you're getting remarried, right? It might not even be. It might just be something nice to say. But why would you put that in your book if it wasn't the truth? So I believe it.
I
I
mean, and
believe
then
it.
he co-signed it, so he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing back then, how he was living.
And also, maybe she did to cut herself off a little bit after she figured out what he was doing, because that can be very off-putting when somebody is being unfaithful. It's like
Uh,
maybe she was
yeah.
never in love, but I don't know. That I found that to be interesting, but really, the two stories are connected because I don't because of Shawnee, but Shawnee wasn't even a part. Shawnee wasn't even a part of this. Really, I was just looking at her face when he
Yeah.
was saying everything he was saying. She was
Look,
just being a supportive wife.
listen,
Well,
I don't think he was wrong. He was human. So
let's give it up for Shawnee and her wonderfulness. And obviously, she's an amazing business person. Like I think about that all the time. Like I feel like when she did Basketball Wives, it wasn't all of this out there. Wags wasn't out there. I think maybe Real Housewives was out there, but this was a different type of thing. It's talking
mhm.
about like, like wives and girlfriends and people, basketball people or football people. Like there's a spinoff. I think that they have Football Wives. I feel like I saw that somewhere.
I forgot the name of it, but it might have been called Wags.
Well, yeah, I definitely remember Wags, but I thought there was another show. I never watched it, but I thought it was another show called Football Wives. I might be mistaken though. I could be mistaken, but yeah. So yeah, Shawnee started a whole or made it really popular. The whole like basketball wife or the wag lifestyle and made it like a thing because they've actually been through all this stuff with the players and they know about stuff too and they've been having whole lives and they're
Wait, what's Wags? Isn't
wives
Wags
and girlfriends. It's called Wives
of,
and Girlfriends, but it's a Bravo
of
show.
which one? Of football or
I
basketball?
think it. So I've seen. shows where they were intertwined. So there's
Okay.
like one lady who was dating a basketball player. Like most of them were dating
Okay.
football players, and then somebody was dating a boxer at one point. Um, they're dating wives. They're dating football, but I saw one where they were doing mostly football players too. They have like a few seasons, a few different casts.
Oh, okay.
So there's yeah, there's a LA, and then there's the Miami, and then there's someone else. I can't remember,
Yeah,
but
that was
one
a
of them.
while ago in reality TV world, so I don't even remember back that far.
I remember one of them was dating Colin Kaepernick, not while she was on the show, but
Okay.
I remember like, oh, that's the flex.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, another thing I was going to talk about, but it's not even a real topic. This is actually Cardi B um, debuting. Like so the Met Gala was like this past week, and Cardi B came in with this really big black dress, and the theme was like Garden of Time or something. It was supposed to signify like garden esque inspired stuff. So a lot of people were wearing flowers and flower looking things. But I think there was some element that was supposed to be like disposable, or like, oh, you can't wear this again. You can only wear it once. Like
Mm.
so something about it. And I saw a bunch of different looks. Some of this stuff was weird, but I thought Cardi B's dress was nice.
That show is huge. So she
Yeah,
had two of them.
she had all these people following her with like,
It,
or or surrounding her with umbrellas so they couldn't see the dress when she was getting in the car.
oh, that's funny. It reminds me of what movie was that where they had Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
That her or a mixture with like her dress is it looks like the part where her hips are shaped like a heart, but then she looks like she has the Marge Simpson hairdo.
oh, I
But I
do
do like the
remember
black one
that.
better than the green one.
I like the black one better too. People in the
Yeah.
comments were talking about, "Girl, everybody's gonna have their own color that they like," but
Yeah, the green doesn't I mean the black doesn't pop, but the green doesn't, if it was a
the
different
green doesn't
shade,
do it for me either.
maybe if it was pink or something, it would be different. But the black one was definitely the better choice.
Or if it was a color that was like really, really striking, and it's
Hmm.
like, wow, that is such a beautiful color. I can't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah,
Then
it's
I
that
can see
shade.
it, but it's not giving that. So the green's not giving that, so the black is better. So that's why.
I still can't. I still remember when she was like coming up and about to be famous. I was just like, "Are y'all serious? I can't believe that she is as famous as she is right now." Like just looking at her how she started. I
Forever.
remember sharing her on Instagram because she had a funny Instagram. She used to be just talking shit, and I remember sharing that or whatever. And it's just so funny how how everything changed.
How
That Instagram,
time goes. And
yeah,
it's like so funny. Some things you can never predict. It's
at
like, wow,
all because I definitely didn't. This is one other thing, but I'm not going to even touch it because it might happen again. So,
what's that? Oh, never mind. You said you're not gonna touch it.
nah, I ain't going to touch it right
Oh,
now.
what's that? It's like somebody talk about. I'm not gonna talk about it. Oh, not talk about what? Like I just said, I wasn't gonna talk about it. Oh, we got some comments. I'm so sorry, y'all.
I know.
Oh,
I totally missed it.
okay. This is about the pastor Keon. She did it one time too many. This is the lady with the wailing, right? He had to let her know this time. I understand that. She did it one time too many. And I don't know if every service is or whatever they were doing. They could have been choir rehearsal, it could have been a special thing, but it looked like they were filming something because the camera was had an angle. So it's like if she were doing that for some sort of attention or some sort of
Listen,
showing off or something. I don't know if that's because I don't want
it
to
doesn't
accuse
even
lady.
matter though. You're in my church. I'm trying to do something and you're loud. Hey, you're not a crying baby, so you get to snap your fingers and I'm gonna walk over to you and say, "Could you stop doing that? Stop it."
Yeah. And then yeah, look, as an adult, you have to gather yourself in that moment, like, oh
Like, there's
somebody's
nothing
checking
really
me.
even to talk about it. Because listen,
You were doing it. Like, what am I telling you to stop? Look at yourself. Look at yourself. You're screaming like a crazy person. Get yourself together. Stop that.
Let's see.
Yo,
He don't even he
I
didn't
would
even
be
say
so.
all that. All he said was, "Listen,
I know,
stop
but
that.
that's how I would say.
The only voice I want is the voice of Jesus. Like, stop it."
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying he didn't do anything wrong. He totally, yeah, he got irritated, but I feel like he was well within his rights.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, obviously the pastor has to be respected and whatever he says, but
Yeah.
you know, obviously, we talked about that already.
Like I
She
said,
said,
somebody, what I would be looking at is like, who missed the opportunity to not have me stop what I was doing to go over here and stop this? Who missed that opportunity? Replace that person. Anyway, I,
yeah.
I digress.
Well, a lot of people also volunteering at the church, so maybe they just didn't want to. I don't
His
know.
church, no.
There's definitely people working there.
He
I see
definitely
people.
has a staff.
Somebody was not on their
In a
job. Somebody
regular
got.
church in our neighborhood, somebody is tasked to make
Yeah,
sure
you're right.
everything goes
Somebody
as
got talked
planned.
to.
And if somebody is doing something that is going to disrupt the pastor and have the pastor have to stop what he's doing, like, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Somebody got talked to. You're right.
That's what I feel like. I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it. What was y'all? What was y'all doing? Anyway.
Y'all was loafing. Remember that?
Like, yep.
Okay, so here's where we're gonna. I don't know if this is our last topic or not. I gotta go. I think this is our last topic though. I gotta go look, but this is something that's interesting. Oh wait, I was reading the comments. I'm so sorry. Blondie said she didn't like what Serena Williams had on. I recall that I didn't like what Serena Williams had on either. So maybe we'll revisit that topic first. We'll probably revisit that topic once we finish this topic because there was a couple of outfits we have to call out anyway. So
yeah, I didn't see Serena's.
This next topic though is a teacher, a black male teacher who has his female students, and they look. I don't know what grade this is, but they look like they could be anywhere from like 12 to like maybe 15. I don't know. They look pretty young. But it doesn't matter. Like, okay, they're saying, is it appropriate? A teacher responds to receiving backlash for letting his female students unbraid his hair. He says people wouldn't have a problem with it if he was female.
Yeah, I listened to what he said, and he said that he didn't have time to take his hair out. He had an appointment right after. He said that. Anyway, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go before I go and say what I gotta say.
I mean, I don't know what the element is. I feel like he can't. He can't be. I'm not saying that he's being prosecuted, but I think he can't be held responsible in a way for something he didn't do because I don't know if it's inappropriate. He's not like touching them. It doesn't look like they're touching his hair, but I don't know. It could be inappropriate, I suppose. I suppose it could be inappropriate, but I don't see it like that. I don't think that was the intent. But maybe this is a learning lesson for him to be like, oh, I can't allow my students to do that. I mean, certainly here's where I'll say. Certainly if this were in a private school, then I would be like, what the hell do you have in my child? I'm paying $15,000 for my daughter to go here. You better be teaching her something. She's not here to take out your hair. Now, I would have that argument. I'm not sure about the appropriateness of it. I don't think it was but again, that's a slippery slope because sometimes small inappropriate things lead to bigger inappropriate things. But if anything, and I didn't hear his response either, but if anything, it's like, okay, if this is causing some concern, then it's something to think about for the next time. I don't think he had a negative intent just based on his body language, but if something were to pop off, right, then you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're one of the people who's being like looked at like, like, oh, this student turned out pregnant. We're trying to figure out who the father is. We saw that video of her taking out your hair, and that wasn't appropriate. So, so it's like, or somebody makes an accusation. Now, see, this is really the issue. Say one of those girls says that she felt like it was inappropriate, like she felt uncomfortable, like all the other girls were doing it, but I felt uncomfortable, right? That's a real thing. And you can't say that, oh, she had no reason to, because when somebody accuses you of something, you can't invalidate them. So sometimes people are like too guarded, but in this situation, this is one of those positions you be too guarded. I had a high school teacher though, and I don't know if they're in high school, but they have cell phones and they're standing there like grown women. So I'm gonna assume this is high school. I had high school teachers that were like um, football coaches and stuff. And
Mm.
the girls, my peers, some of my close girlfriends, were throwing themselves at these grown men. And at the time, we were like maybe 16. I remember Destiny's Child was out. Like it was a whole deal. We were having a great time. But I never thought like, I would think to myself, like, girl, you need to stop doing that to Coach so and so. I was going to say it's a real name. Sorry. Sorry, internet. I was gonna say this guy's real name, but I'd be like, "Girl, you need to stop doing that to Coach." Blah blah blah. But he was always like, please stop it, right? But now that I'm older and I be seeing these stories about these people having these inappropriate relationships with their students, it's like, wow, I remember some of those instances back in my day, but nobody was being accused of anything. But I definitely remember some of my friends throwing themselves at some of our more attractive teachers and thinking like, wow, like that was such sexual harassment. And now that I know what that is, back then I didn't think anything of it. Back then it was like, you thought it was cute. It's just like, oh man, he's, you got a crush on him, but now I'm like, no, this is law, and somebody could go to jail. But we weren't thinking about that. But I wasn't one of those girls. But I've seen it happen. I certainly was not.
No, I'm saying, but like I always say, when it's something that has like it depends. Like if it looks like this on one end, it could look like this on the other end. And most men that I know would not put themselves in that situation because of the optics of it all. Even if his intent was not, was harmless, right? It's still a professional boundary because how many teachers let the students do their hair? You know what I'm saying? Like a teacher doing a student's hair is different because that's kind of like if the child needed something to be done, and even that's questionable sometimes because some parents will get mad about stuff like that. But it's the professional person's responsibility to keep the boundaries in place, right?
Yeah.
There are girls that are young and impressionable, and there could be some in there that like him. He said in his response that they all volunteered, and some of them weren't even in his current class. He taught them for a long time, maybe for like 4 years, some of them. And he was like, some of them weren't in his current class, but he wrote them passes to get out of their class 10 minutes early to come and do it because they volunteered. So they were all there because they volunteered, which all of that was crazy to me too, because it's like, no matter what you say, how harmless it was, the optics don't look good because you put yourself in a situation to have all these girls doing your hair. Now, let's take it a step further, right? Imagine explaining to a father why you have his
Yeah.
daughter doing her hair, or imagine explaining to like that doesn't even make sense. Explain to your girlfriend how you had all these little girls
Yeah, I was thinking that.
hair. Like it just doesn't look bad. It
Like,
leaves.
why you got all these little girls on your Instagram?
I mean, because it leaves.
That's another
Okay.
thing.
So then that brings me to another thing.
That's
Do you
another
have
thing.
permission for them to be filmed like this? And like, if somebody watches this with no audio, right, to hear whatever he was explaining, or they don't read or whatever, all they're going to see is some nature boy esque scene with one dude sitting there with all these women around them, and they don't really know what's going on. The optics just don't look good, right? So my point
Yeah.
is, I don't know no dudes. The most of the dudes that I know would be like, I'm not even putting myself in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be blamed because at the end of the day, it's your word against theirs, right? Or whoever says anything. So I mean, him even coming to
This
do
is a little
video
weird with
to
the
me,
lizard. What the hell? There's a lizard on this.
him coming to
That's a
even
little
have
weird.
him coming to even do the video to say if it was a woman, nobody would be even saying nothing. It's crazy to me too because it's like, dude, do you live in America? Have you seen the stuff that's been happening with people who are doing less than this? Like, I'm just saying, I know my father wouldn't be like cool with me sitting there doing this dude's hair. So explain that to
Yeah, it's true.
him. It's too much
I can
participation.
only imagine your father walking up in there. Good
He
old
probably he
Rico
would
walking in
somebody had
there. I
to.
can see him pointing in somebody's face right now. That's
It's
my
too much room
daughter.
for misinterpretation. You know what I'm saying? And it just
Yeah, I would hate to. All right, so the way you put it like that, let me just say that. Okay, I would hate to have been one of those girls, and my father walked in there, right? Like, what are you doing?
What are you
It's like,
doing?
because that's how you
And if I was
know.
his girl, I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah, it's
Like, what
weird,
are you
and so
doing?"
and now
To me,
I
it just
didn't.
wasn't a smart choice. And then you went live, like,
He
okay,
went
and
live.
like to the people, like I do understand. Some people's like, "Oh, it was totally. I don't see nothing wrong with it." It was like I see people thinking about it from the basic thing of what's going on, but like seriously, this appropriate? Like I, even as a woman, if I walked in and my child was doing it, I would be like, "Why are you doing that?" Like, no, no, I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
It would definitely
I
cause
don't
some
even see mommy
concern
wants
for me.
that.
Now that I think about it, it's like I don't know what kind of relationship you have with him, but it's too close.
I'm surprised
Because
he
I
don't
don't.
show
If
up
this
with
is what
like
you do, if this is what you do, then
a
what's
black
going to
eye from
happen?
somebody's father being like, "Why you got my daughter on the internet?"
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm surprised that. So this is the
what?
thing, because he posted this right on his social media. Is what I'm thinking. Like that looks like I'm gonna go look at his TikTok if that's his TikTok. But
Yeah, it looks like a
obviously this is
TikTok.
his. At one point he picked up the phone, but it's like not
I
sure
don't
how
know.
old these girls are, but whether they
But to
need
go back to
experience.
what you said though, it's just about putting yourself in a position. Like even though it's harmless, I feel you, but that's really just not a good look. Like, come on, you're a teacher, you're an educator, you know how things get misinterpreted, right? The fact that you even came on here ready to explain yourself, talking about it's a double standard or whatever, just lets me know that you thought about it. So you're getting the backlash. But
Also, here's another thing that I just thought of.
where's
Man,
his friends at? I
we're
don't know.
bringing a real case against this
Exactly.
young man. I don't want anything bad to happen because of this. But another thing that we haven't talked about that I would have to consider. Oh wait, listen to Blondie's. My son would be furious if he saw his daughter doing that. Yep, it didn't look right because he is a man and they are minors. Mm-hmm.
It's something like a personal grooming thing. It kind of leaves the door open to other stuff. Like, okay, today you're taking out his hair. Are
What does
you
that lead
putting
to?
Beijing in his beard tomorrow? Like, what the fuck is happening? I don't
Here's
get it.
another thing that he was so
I don't.
wrong for that period. That's Blondie Monique. Here's another thing that we haven't talked about, but I'm just considering now is like the inappropriateness just regarding um their social awareness of what's appropriate. Because if one of those girls does have a crush on him and they make some sort of advance at him, right?
Lean
And they
over and anything can happen. Okay, like my point is, a sane man would not just openly put himself in this situation, but I guess he likes to press the envelope. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying dude is doing anything wrong. I'm just saying his judgment of what he's doing is not smart. Like you went live with some minors taking your hair out, and
like
like now you coming on saying, "Oh, if I was a woman, nobody would be saying that." Like I would be questioning as a woman too. Like, why are
why
you
are you
doing
having
yourself
that?
at work, and why you have them?
But I don't think that's accurate either. If a woman came on there and had a whole bunch of boys,
They
uh,
probably wouldn't do it, but
well, they would if she was fly. Like they
oh,
used to show those curvy teachers. If she was like, "Hey, come help me," take down my hair or brush my hair or take out my
so
braids. First of all,
let's.
a black woman would not. I don't think a black woman would let somebody take
But
out the
but
braids.
here's the thing. Okay, let's make it the same, right?
But it
Okay,
doesn't have to be a black
girls
woman. It could
girls
be
like
anybody.
doing hair. Girls like doing hair, right? So he got them to help take his hair out. Like if a woman had boys, you know, I don't know. What could she do that's equivalent to have them? I don't know. I can't. I don't know because they
I
wouldn't.
mean, I was gonna say a massage or something, but that's really inappropriate.
That
But
could
I
be.
mean, yeah, what I'm saying because they're not touching his skin. But okay, and this lizard thing comes up. I just have to say this is weird. He's got a lizard, and they're touching the lizard, and it's like I know he doesn't mean it like that or whatever. But at one point, some little hand from the side came
I didn't even see the lizard.
and touch the lizard's hair. It's like,
I
why are
see.
we doing? It's a little weird to me that she's that close to his stomach and stuff. But okay, here's another thing. Now we're just gonna. We're already inside
See,
this
I'm saying.
conversation. We're
My
so
point is, like, we can sit here all day and dissect it. My point is, he shouldn't even put himself in that situation. And if that was my son, I would be looking at him like, dude, what are you doing?
if it
What
was
are you doing?
appropriate, then you should be able to swap them out with all boys.
Well, yeah, but then the other thing is, I'm just looking at it in the sense of girls like to do hair, so he's having them do something that they like to do. What would be equivalent that a woman could do that boys like to do that would be the same thing? I really can't think of
Well,
nothing.
I'm saying that if he thought it was appropriate, boys are not necessarily known for liking to take out braids. But if there were at least one or two boys in there, then it would be arguably appropriate. But I'll bet he wouldn't be comfortable with
No,
five boys standing around him
no, but then what I'm saying is
because it's in their personal space. It's like,
right.
so it's like if you wouldn't be comfortable with boys at that close
But
to
that's
you.
not that's what I'm trying to say. Like this is what I'm trying to avoid. Somebody
Okay.
having the argument of they're doing something they naturally like doing,
Mm.
right? Boys don't naturally like doing hair, so they wouldn't be asked to do that. What would they be asked to do by the teacher that's a female that they naturally like doing? I can't really think of nothing to compare it to, so that's why I was like, I'm not even taking in the whole if a woman was doing it, a woman would probably ask the girls to do it too because that's something that they do that girls do is hair, right?
But it would be more appropriate if it was a woman
I
because
still
it's
would
like
think it was
they're playing dress up or something.
But I still would think it was inappropriate because you're at work, right? And you have somebody in your hair, right? And you about to go get
Yeah,
your hair
it's
is dirty. I
weird.
don't know what's in your hair. Like that's personal hygiene. Like, am I coming to help you? No, I don't know. Like I said, it leaves too much up for misinterpretation, and that was a bad judgment on his part. And
Especially to write a pass for them to come to his
that
classroom
was
to
excessive
do a
to me.
service on top of
It
everything.
wasn't that he was
Child labor
okay. So
laws.
that means that you premeditated it because it's like okay, like you
You
thought
got
about it.
free
Like, let me
labor out
write
of
them
them.
passes so they can get out of class 10 minutes early because we about to go so they can come help me with my hair. I think that is where the professional boundary is crossed because did they tell you can write passes for that when you got hired? Like that's my point. Like it just looks bad. It just looks bad. Okay.
It does.
He and the like Blondie said, the onus is on the professional that is the adult to remain in a professional like boundary. And so it's not even they didn't do anything wrong. They're just being them. But he, as the adult, was supposed to have the sound mind to be like, this the optics don't look good for me. Right? Not
Yeah.
even you look crazy right now. And I mean, some people that don't think there's anything wrong with it. But like I said, you have to think about it from the sense of, this may have been harmless, but what are you giving other people the carte blanche to do? So now this dude did it, but so what about the other dude that's really trying to go at the girls? And then he like, oh well, shoot, this dude let them take his hair out, and now he's talking the same stuff. But
Oh man,
but
guys, the
right,
lizard.
opens up the wrong door. So
This
the optics
lizard is
don't look good.
bothering me, man. I don't understand. It's every time.
I didn't even see the lizard. I didn't even go touch that.
Now it's just like,
I
look,
didn't even see that at first.
it just
You know what
makes
I'm
it
saying?
so much worse.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
It
Anyway,
makes it so much worse
I
because,
digress.
yeah,
I'm gonna use another old word. Another old word. He lunched.
yeah,
He
he
lunched
did.
like shit. Tripping.
He did.
Tripping.
And I mean, not to even say, like you said, it's not to say that we're not accusing him of having bad intent, but this has to be a lesson for him to like, and for other people. Because another thing is like, you did not have to even put this on social media, so you would have never probably even been found out.
Like
And
I said, I
so
just don't.
he may have that, and that might have been his point, is that I've done way more inappropriate shit than this. This is
It could have
nothing,
been.
guys. I got one for the books. Let
My
me
thing
tell
is,
you, you
how
should
are
see
you?
the pajama party I
Imagine,
had in my house last Saturday.
imagine explaining this to somebody's dad. That's all I'm saying. Like if you think that it's okay and it's cool and fine, but I just couldn't see. That's inappropriate to me. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys. This is what's happening on the
I
internet.
didn't even see the lizard at first.
But look, I just saw the lizard while we were filming. I didn't even know about the lizard. So anyway, that was a fun story. I mean, like not fun. I'm sad for those girls, but I mean that the one of the last points that I made about them, you know, they're at school to learn, and if somebody does have an inappropriate thought of how that relationship and where boundaries lie, then he's not helping that. I feel like teachers are so under I feel like they're so undervalued in most cases, but it's these little things, these little nuances that some good teachers teach you about life that aren't a part of their job, but they're teaching you like how to be on time or how to say yes, ma'am, or how to be respectful. I've seen teachers pull people aside to tell them, okay, well, you need to dress better than that. You need to present yourself well. You need to stand up straight. Like those little things. Like teachers are teaching you a lot of stuff, not just the subject that they teach, but they're teaching you like how to be good at life sometimes. Like I learned a lot from some of my teachers about discipline, about trying to reach for more than what I can do. It's like I had teachers tell me like you're just doing this to pass. You could do better than this. And I remember being irritated, like that doesn't matter. Right? Like I did an excellent job. Like this is A worthy. It doesn't matter if I can be better. I don't want to be better. I want
Already a worthy.
the aim was to get an A. So don't give me a B just because I could do better. Yeah, I could do better. That takes more time and effort. you know?
I
So
happen to know that I deserve an A on this.
right, but I also recognize that it made me better. Like some of the things
Mhm.
that some of the teachers did and said to me, it made me better. So, but they're watching you because you're a young
Mhm.
human being, you're a young adult. You're coming up, and they know more than you because they've lived life.
Mhm.
But they're teaching you about decorum. They're teaching you about some of them are teaching you about boundaries. They're teaching you about potential. I've had Black women teachers teach me things about culture, teach me
Mhm.
things about being a Black woman. Just different things.
Like,
And
like
he's not doing them a service by ignoring that this is a boundary that's being crossed.
no, because you just made me think about something like the well, this was on the show, but this probably happened in real life too. Like the teachers get reprimanded for less, right? Like if like on there was a episode of Bel Air, right, where Tatiana Ali came back. She was a teacher and she was giving this one Black student in her class, certain books, right? And she gave her one book and she liked that book and she gave her another, but she was giving her books like from our culture because of, that's what it was, right?
Yep.
And one of the other students saw it and told her she got fired for that. So, like, this is like my thought, right?
Mm.
With the hair thing, it's like teachers have gotten let go of less with good intentions for less stuff with good intentions, right? And I feel like anybody in this day and age of the Me Too era and all this stuff, whatever, is smart enough to be like, you know what, this is not a good look. And I feel like he just had a lack of judgment. And like I said, I don't think that he had any. I don't think he had any ill intentions. I just think that it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
All
Not a
like
good
it
look,
just didn't
buddy.
look right. It just didn't look right. So, anyway, um, that's all I think we had today. Let me think. Let me think. I
No,
talked
I
about
think we
stuff.
hit everything. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we had another thing, but look, if we did, we're gonna have another show next week, guys.
Yeah,
That was such a heavy topic. I feel like any topic after that just doesn't feel
yeah, yeah. I feel you. But
because that's one to even chew on. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still
I mean,
like
yeah, because it's like I said, it's the optics. It's just the way it
the
looks.
fact
Like
that he's okay with it, that he doesn't think that it's anything
there's a
wrong
lot
with
of
it,
people that
is
agree with him,
also an issue. It's like, well, what else? What else is happening? Where'd you come from? How'd
but
you get hired? That
not
this is
even just
okay.
with him. It's a lot of people that are like, he didn't do anything wrong. But
Serena.
it's like it's not about. It's
I need
the
to find those
I
Instagram.
don't know. I don't even know how else to explain it. Like I said, explain that shit to somebody's father. Explain that shit to your girlfriend or your wife. I just don't feel like it was that's appropriate. Like, why does it need to be done? Like, why? Like, the hairdresser probably takes it out on a regular basis. Like, why? If you don't do it, like, why would you wrote passes for them to get out? Anyway, I can go on about this forever. Thank y'all so
Wait a
much.
minute, hold up.
Oh
Before
no,
we
yeah,
go,
Blondie said it. You got to pull up Serena.
yes. I'm just pulling up. I'm trying to see if I can let me just present uh this because I want to see if I can pull up some other looks too. Because I really did like some of the things that I saw. Coleman Domingo wrote, oh, he looked good. I thought his outfit was really good.
You
Okay,
really
so
good
Nicki
with
Minaj.
remembering
Let
names.
me
Who was
see if I
Coleman Domingo?
he played in Color Purple, which I still didn't see. So sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, everybody. Is this the right? Because I don't. Oh yeah, this one freaked me out. I don't know who this lady is, but she had on this dress and it moved like these. So, like I said, the theme was Garden of Time or something like
Mm.
that. This lady, oh, I guess her name is. I don't know her name, but these things on her arm, and I couldn't figure out whether she was controlling it because it looked like she was standing still. But those butterflies, they were like moving, like slowly,
Oh,
like they were
I think
breathing. It was
we're
gross.
in 2024. Listen, it was probably an AI dress.
It's a pretty gown. But like you see how they're open right there? They kept
Yeah,
opening and
I
closing.
gotta look and see. I
It's
gotta look
not
that.
it's
What's her
not
name?
it's not fun.
What's her name?
What is her name? Hold on, let me go back. It's not fun. Um
Yeah, I see their clothes now. That's crazy.
her name is somebody said no. Now look, she's a pretty woman. It's a pretty dress. Rafa, I don't know her last name. Rafah.
Okay.
So I'm sure if you Google like Met Gala and dress, you'll find her. But and she's a beautiful woman. I'm not trying to say anything about her, but I did not like
The
that
dress
dress.
creeped you out.
Yeah, this is Zendaya. Zendaya. She had a great look. I loved her eye makeup.
I did see
Um,
her. I saw her when she arrived.
Diane von Furstenberg, and that looks like uh, Gigi Hadid, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Sorry, I don't know a lot of people. Like they look familiar, but oh, that was John Batiste. Um, one person that I didn't necessarily care for their outfit was Kim Kardashian. She had on this like corset and it looked so unnatural. It almost looked freakish. A few years ago, they had a theme called Camp. Oh, now Doja Cat just don't even care. She just threw on a stocking on her whole body. She just got
Not
a
a
pair of tights.
stocking.
She's like,
Oh my
girl,
god.
put your nipples away. But I don't even know. These looks like after party looks, and that's Lil Nas X
Mm-hmm.
being crazy. He's living a wild life, guys. Okay, here's one, Nicki Minaj, and she looked really cute. I liked that dress.
All right, now who was in the? Wasn't it somebody like that was? Oh, I do like that for her. It was somebody that was totally covered up, wasn't it? And like waving with their hands out of a.
Like a umbrella sort of thing, and I don't know who that was. I gotta go look, but it reminded me of so it's like Sia, the singer. I don't know, Sia. She sang Chandelier with the
Okay.
girl from the dance reality show, Dancing but Madeline.
Yeah, I know what
Um,
you're talking
so
about.
I was like, it reminded me of her. I don't know who it was though. So this is Doja Cat. I will give it up. She's such an artist. Like she really commits to her looks, and I feel like she becomes the look. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know who.
last one was crazy. Wasn't that last one with all the Swarovski
Yeah,
crystals and stuff? The red crystals she had on.
yeah, she really commits.
Yeah, that was
I
wild.
really do like. Okay, so I will say I like this. I like this makeup. Obviously, it's meant to look like she's crying, but I think that's so dope. Like I think it's done well, and it looks interesting. It makes me just want to keep looking at it. Like wow, like I think that's artistry. Like obviously, you're not going to go to work like this, but I thought it was really cool. It was something that hadn't been done before, and it was interesting to look at. What?
No,
You
I
got
was just laughing at her.
Oh, okay. This is one that I didn't like, and I'm getting to Serena, y'all. Uh, it just looks. They a few years ago they did a theme camp where it's like you kind of, make fun of stuff, exaggerate things, and this is what they reminded me of. Or
Mm.
that lady who, there was a documentary about this lady who kept wearing corsets and her waist was like 5 inches or something. It was like ridiculous. It's like, where do all your organs? That can't be healthy for your organs,
That's wild.
to be screwed. But I mean, listen, women have
That's wild.
babies. There's, when women's babies get bigger and all their organs get pushed up to the top. So, I don't know. I don't necessarily like this look. It looks painful. I don't think it looks healthy. I don't like it for some reason.
That show is cinched to the gods. Like what
I
the
mean,
heck? He probably couldn't
I appreciate
eat
the
or nothing.
effort, but it's something about that corset look just seems torturous or something. I don't know if you.
And she
I don't
probably,
know.
I feel like you got to learn how to breathe in some of those small ones or whatever, because you got to, she probably has to, had to wear that over time in order to be able to be wearing it like that, because that's crazy. Who is that?
Kim Kardashian. If you have to learn how to breathe to wear
Lord
a
have mercy.
dress, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it because she is also a
I
billionaire.
mean, she, you know what I'm saying? What else she got to do?
Sure, absolutely. That's
You're
a
back
great
again,
point.
buddy. How you doing?
Okay, and then I saw Kylie looking at Doja Cat. There's this picture of her looking at Doja Cat. Kylie's makeup looks amazing. I love her face. Like the face makeup. I wonder if Ariel is still doing her makeup. Because Ariel is such a talented human being. Uh
You know, I don't know who the heck that
oh,
is.
sorry. Ariel is a makeup artist. And why am I forgetting his last name right now? I'm flaking on his last name. But he actually has like really amazing techniques. He's one of those people who got in there and really, really made it a passion of his to do
Mm-hmm.
makeup. And he just does his own thing and he has his own techniques that last long. And he helped Lily Lashes. She was actually in the Stars of Sunset, but there's this brand called Lily Lashes was like one of the top brands for lashes. And I loved her philosophy too because she was like, oh yeah, there's other lash companies out there, but I wanted a stack lash. I wanted a dramatic lash. So anyway, bringing her up because Ariel also is friends with Lily and he helped Lily's Lashes, and that's a really huge company.
Okay.
One of the most worn brands is like it's the Mykonos style. Like it's more people that I've seen with that style. But anyway, I don't know what everybody's wearing, but it's like a lot of people
Definitely
will
know
shout
more than
that.
me because I don't do that. So
Anyway, Kylie looks great. She was looking at Doja Cat's dress at the bottom and she kind of side eyed her, but I don't think she thought anybody could see her. But it was kind of funny. But this is pretty. I don't know if it went with the theme or what. It's a pretty dress. Kylie knows how to wear stuff. Like Kendall is looking a little. I don't know. Something about her just doesn't seem nice. It
yeah.
seems like she might be like not a mean girl, but it seems like she might not be like pleasant. Either that or she's like boring. I don't know. It's something
Mm-hmm.
about her that just doesn't. But shout out to them. Oh, here's Lil Nas X. Okay, he's wild.
Yeah, he's wild.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to find Serena and then Coleman Domingo, Ariana Grande, yada yada. Tyler, what is she wearing? Oh, that's cute. It looks like sand sculpture. Wow, it looks like a sand sculpture. That's interesting. She's wearing a sand dress. Oh, that's funny. It looks like sand. Okay.
I got,
From the made of sand. A nod to the sands of time. This is a close up on it. That's weird.
it's
Okay,
actually
sure.
made of sand. That's wild.
I guess they like tape stuff or glue stuff to her. Man, these people go all out for this thing. Look at this. She's crazy with the looks, man. She is a beast. Everywhere she goes, she just looks
Mhm.
great. Everywhere she goes, she looks great. You got to give it up to Law Roach because he's her stylist since she's been like a teenager, like 13 or something. But she's really does give it up. And I don't even know. This is like I guess she had a second look. But yeah, this is kind of like a run through. I'm still looking for Serena, y'all. Sorry. I'm about to find it. Yeah, that was Gigi Hadid. That was J Lo. Eh, that was Bad Bunny. I don't really even know any of his music. I just know he was. Oh, and there she is, Miranda Priestley. It's like that's Anna Wintour, but Miranda Priestley was based off of her, the character.
That's
He
hilarious.
basically is running this whole show,
She
like
said
he's
Miranda
the
Priestly.
editor of Vogue,
Mm-hmm.
and probably I'm even probably diminishing her title. She's the ruler of the free fashion world. Okay, and these are not even pictures from this year. So what am I looking at? I need to look up Serena. I should just Google it because I'm just wasting everybody's time.
I'm not gonna be the one to say it. So
I'm sorry, you should have said it because I want to see Coleman Domingo too, and I really just liked his look. I remember he had on black and white, but I couldn't. Okay, I couldn't remember exactly what he was wearing. I do believe I saw Serena too, but
See
yeah, here it
hers.
is.
But somebody on TikTok, some lady was like, "Can we just talk about why Serena always looks?" What she say? She
You're
was just
not gonna like this. I just saw this. I
she
think you're
was
not gonna like this. Go
nah.
ahead.
The lady on TikTok was saying, "Can we talk about why Serena doesn't something about how she always looks something?" I can't remember how she put it, but she was basically talking about not up to par. I guess she looks disheveled sometimes, or I don't know.
No.
But I didn't see her dressed for the Met Gala.
See
But I
this?
mean, she probably be playing tennis in a sports bra and a tennis outfit all the time or whatever, and don't got time for like makeup and stuff like that.
This is Coleman Domingo. See, wasn't he in Color Purple?
Don't ask me that because you know you're the best one to ask about who was in his.
Not the original Color Purple, but the one because I didn't see the one with Fantasia and all them.
I
I think
did see it, but
I'm
I'm
pretty
not
sure that
gonna.
he's. I think that he played, um, you know,
I did see it, but
Mister.
I didn't. I don't
I think
remember all
he
the
played
characters.
Mister, but I'm not sure. But I really was digging this look. He had the cape, he had the wide leg pant, like he looked
Because I
fire.
don't
And
know people
I
by
don't,
name.
huh?
I said because I don't know people by name, and sometimes if they're not somebody that I already knew, it didn't stick yet. Let me see.
I love this fashion, like, because men don't normally dress with this much drama.
What
There
is
was
that?
this was that this is Coleman
What are we
Domingo.
looking at? No, what are we? What is he wearing? What are we looking at?
So he's wearing this like
Is it a
he has
dress?
white calla lilies with him. No, it's not a dress. It's
It's
like wide leg pants.
okay.
And then he has a cape though. But then I love this accent right here, this black accent, and I love the fit of the
Yeah, he was
jacket. It's
missing.
like it's almost like a pea coat. The way that I don't know what they call it, but I want to say double breasted, but I'm not sure. But I love the accent of that and the way that he's carrying those flowers. And I love the pant with it. It just reminds me of I mean, yeah, it's like Garden of Time. It looks kind of like a presentation, but I like the fashion in this. Men don't normally dress with this much drama and movement. I just feel like it's so interesting. I still think it's masculine, even though it's obviously, I mean, like this much drama sort of like screams feminine, but I think he carried it, and I didn't see him walk, so I don't know
I don't know, but
whether
if
he,
you
you
should
know.
watch Color Purple because now it makes sense of the pants that they picked for him at the in a certain part of it or whatever. Because he probably actually likes stuff like that.
I like this look. I really did. There was
But
another man who had something on, and I don't even know who he was, which is why I'm
I'll
about to
make sure I
find
get James that outfit for Christmas.
out. Well, I didn't say all that, everybody. I appreciate this for this
Oh my
man,
god! For
but
him,
I
you
don't.
love
I
that for
don't know.
him, but not for you.
No, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I appreciate it as a fashion choice. Now, I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. I'm just saying that he could pull this off and this is cute or whatever, but it's not like I'm not I'm attracted to it by the style of it. Like my eye is attracted to it. I think it's a beautiful outfit. But I don't think I could be attracted to someone who was wearing time. Well, depending
Oh
on
my
depending on
god!
how they owned it. I don't know. That sounds really messed up,
I think
guys.
Lonnie was
Listen, you know
talking about
what?
Serena.
I don't care if it sounds messed up because this is who I am real time.
We
So
still
if
ain't found
something's wrong with
Serena.
me, we're gonna have to accept it.
Did we find Serena? Yeah, I think Blondie was
I
talking.
did. Ah, yeah, and I did see this.
She said her
Oh,
makeup be off all the time. She looks so different now. I think she was talking about Serena.
she looks like an old Chipotle burrito. Why with the foil though? What was the choice there? What was that about? I just want to read a little bit about this. Uh, I guess she was going for something. Okay. Yeah, her makeup. Look, all right. Let me just tell the truth. I don't feel comfortable talking badly about Serena because she's such a champion, and I feel like she works so hard, and I love her work ethic, and I love her passion, and I love
Mhm.
her talent. So I have a hard time wanting, I have a hard time being critical of someone with all of those wonderful attributes that you should aspire to, right?
Like I
But,
said,
but if you're saying someone
to be
said,
the best at tennis like she is, she has to probably be sweaty and practicing all the time. So I don't have nothing bad to say about it either. But that was what the lady was
here's
saying
the thing.
on. Hey baby, I was just
I don't think that
saying.
she classically is like the she
Your
doesn't
nephew say
look
what's up.
like she doesn't look like the person that we typically would look to for the best fashion. Like obviously she's a muscular person. She probably has like a bigger body. So things are gonna look different on her. And her makeup, yeah, okay, in this picture, yeah, sure. Her makeup didn't look the best.
I don't think that's the picture they like that. I don't think that is one of the pictures. I think they just be talking about as a whole period. Like not just that.
Well, I think she tries to. Okay, here's what I think that person might be thinking. I think that she tries to fit into a beauty standard that is not her natural state of beauty, and it looks a little off sometimes. Like I get that we like, in our culture we like long hair and we like a certain type of makeup, like all of the like I like makeup, but a lot of times people like the look that looks natural but is actually a pound and a half of makeup, and that's not, it doesn't look right on everybody. It doesn't look right on everybody. It'll just say it like that. Okay,
See,
everybody can't handle a pound and a half of makeup on their face.
no, but that's
And
that's my thing about makeup though is that I mean I guess here to enhance or whatever, but it does a disservice sometimes because it sets a standard of what you are supposed like what you present yourself to look like, and then when people see the real you, it looks like you're not up to par. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But like I said, if you want to be
perhaps.
good at tennis, I listen. I gotta be in fucking workout clothes on the tennis court, working out, doing what I'm doing, and it doesn't always include glamour. And maybe I gotta go do this photo shoot or do this interview in the midst of what I'm doing, and then I had a kid. So who knows? You know what I mean? She's still human too, or whatever. But
But you know what? This it reminds me of like people like Nia Long and Tyra Banks calling out. So I'm just gonna take this to the early '90s when there wasn't anybody on set to do makeup or hair for Black people, or they would try to, but they were not, you know, they didn't have the technique that it took to bring out the natural beauty of like Black hair, or they didn't have the makeup colors to match the skin of Black women. So a lot of Black women in the film and modeling industry would have to be prepared and bring their own
mhm.
makeup and stuff, and be able prepared to be able to do their own hair so it didn't look silly. And I think sometimes they try to put her Serena in these looks that look good on somebody like a Zendaya, like or Zendaya. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but like Zendaya is like a size freaking zero or something. Like I don't know what her real size is, but she's like a tiny, tall person. She's like super slim, tall. There's things you can do and put on her that like you could put a bed sheet on her, and if you wrap it right, it looks like a gown. And I don't think you can do that with somebody who's like thick like Serena, but they put her in that hair and makeup and stuff, and they act like it's gonna work on her with her thicker, more muscular
So
build.
you think it's her stylist? You think
I
it's
think that they're
the
missing
people
the
that
mark. I think they're trying
so
to put her into a box of
I
whatever works for other people. And like, this is just ugly though.
So that's what Blondie Monique. So I just sent you the post that I saw. Your father actually put it in here. That's funny. He was able to go right to the post that I was talking about. And he said, I just sent it to you in a text. But Blondie says everyone is blaming her stylist and her makeup artist. Um, but that was the post that I was talking about. The lady was talking about her yesterday, or maybe it was the other day or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like, we only see a piece of these celebrities' lifestyles, and we don't really know what they got going on all day. And I know for me, like I'm not even a person that does makeup like that. I don't know what I would do if I had to stop and put on makeup before I went somewhere or whatever, because I already be rushing. And so I just, can imagine that she's way more busy than me, and be like, I don't got time to think about this. This doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I could whip everybody's ass and tip. You know what I'm saying?
Look, maybe that's one of the
So
real reasons I'm hesitant to talk about Serena, because I don't ain't trying to run into her in no dark alley. I mean,
Mm-mm.
she wouldn't recognize me, but
You didn't say anything about her outfit.
huh? I didn't even hear what you said. Look, this looks like I'm sorry, Serena. Like, let's be real. Look, we're here to be real. If I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be real. We're already here. Fuck it. You look like a burrito, and it's not a bad. I'm not trying to criticize, but it's like whoever put this together, I see where they were going with it, but it didn't pan out as planned. It just looks weird. It looks like it didn't go right. Like, and that's okay. We all make these types of mistakes in life, but you know, let's normalize having a plan B option because I can't imagine that if you would have put this on and had another option that you would have chose this still. So I think this was not a good move. I think, you're a beautiful human being, so you could pretty much do this 10 or 12 more times and we'll still love you because really your work speaks for itself. And you won't go down in history being known for this dress. What you will go down in history for, and this is really my point, and I think we lost Demita for a second, but she'll be back. This is really my point. If we're going to talk about Serena, let's talk about the black dress, the black Puma dress that Jamie Foxx sang live about. That was the look for Serena because she's curvy and it accentuated her curves. And no one could have worn that dress like Serena wore it. And that's what I'm talking about, playing up to your strengths. This may have looked good on somebody like a Kylie or you know, a Zendaya, like I said. I think maybe they were aiming towards one thing, but this is just you can't try to execute something that was meant to be one way on someone else. And I think if they would have played to Serena's like strengths, then they would have come up with something that would have been breathtaking and it would have been better than this and it would have been leaving us in awe like that black Puma dress. It's like, you know, if she made that dress, if she's going to go down for anything in fashion, it's not going to be this. So that's what we're not going to. That's not what we remember her for. So this is a pass. Like I don't care that this looks bad, but it doesn't look good, and I think she knows that too. It's not. It's not hate or no shade. It just doesn't look good. It's not. It's not doing it. It's not doing it. But it's cool. I think that she and her stylist have had a conversation since then. I was there. I can report out. No, I wasn't there. But I think that they know now that this was a mistake. And next time, what we can learn from this is that Serena needs a plan B and a plan C option, just in case plan A doesn't look right. And then we can go like that. But this was not this was not the move. It was not.
Poor Serena.
Yeah, but she'll get over it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. We dropped off. Is like this is not what she's going to be known for. What she's going to be known for is that black Puma dress that Jamie Foxx sang live about on stage that time. It was like you and your black Puma suit. Oh my
Well, they
gosh!
wasn't talking about it yesterday. I was lazy
Well,
on
yeah, but
Instagram
she's
last
not
night
going to
because
be
they've been
known for
tearing
this.
her up.
She's gonna go down known for something else. This is not it, though. This is not it. I'm pretty sure she learned her lesson. But if they would play to her strengths, then they could have found something better for her than this. It's like
But what if she wanted to wear it?
oh no, honey.
Why not? Well, she
She
don't know us. She don't know us. She can wear
yeah,
whatever she wants to wear.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? And people, I mean, shit, it's keeping people talking about her.
And maybe she loves it. If she loves it, she's wrong. But
I mean,
she's
but
not
what was
asking.
the what if the point was so that we could be sitting here discussing her right now?
Yeah. Well, then that works, and I love it. I mean, and if that was the case, then I love it for her because I support her. I'm just saying that this is not it. You know, that's all. And I wasn't even invited, so I'm not trying to say anything
All
bad about
right,
her. But
how am I
this
gonna
is
do?
not her best moment. So, oh wait, what did Blondie say? Oh yeah, everyone is wearing. Yeah, we saw that one. And then she was laughing. Tacky. She says it's tacky. It does. It looks a little garish. It looks a little it reminds me of foil, but it looks a little like, candy wrapperish. It looks anyway. We're not gonna go into that anymore. Um but yeah, hopefully if this ever got back hopefully, like, just play the strengths. That's what you do, and you're gonna look good every time, including, like, I don't know. We've already talked about it. I'm not even gonna beat a dead horse. But anyway, yeah, there we are, guys. Thank you so much for reminding me to go back and look at that because I almost forgot. But yeah, so listen, this is a great time. We'll be back with you guys next week to talk about whatever madness has happened on the internet then, since between now and then,
Right.
which is always something crazy. But
I know. Yes. Let's go ahead and um get up out of here. Thank you guys for sticking around and riding with us through today's episode. My internet is acting crazy, so I got kicked off of my iPad and I'm coming through on my phone. Then the iPad when it come back, the internet came back on and the iPad's come. Anyway, it's a kerfuffle over here. Anyway, I love you,
kerfuffle.
sis. I
I love
thank
you
you
too.
for always wrangling these topics or whatever. Like you said, we're gonna be back next week and we're gonna be talking about, whatever has gone on. King wants to say bye. Please don't look
Bye,
me in the
King.
face, okay? Anyway, yeah. So y'all like, share, subscribe, and get in the comments below and let us know what you thought about the topics, what kind of topics you like hearing about. Like I said, we keep it light over here, but we always like to, share people out and talk about the things that are going on. And that one topic is going to be something that we're probably going to revisit. I'm thinking, but
Which
that
one?
topic with the dude doing with the hair, but
Yeah,
we'll
there's
see.
so
But
many
watch
wrong things about that. Look, we
But
had
watch
a
that video that I sent you that they were talking about Serena.
okay. All
All
right,
right,
I will.
and you had the last words because I, what I'm saying, I just want to say like, share, subscribe. Thank everybody for watching.
That's all I had to say. Come back and join us next week. We can't wait to come back and talk to y'all next week. Peace, everybody. Peace.